Disney Plus's new series, Loki. But this is episode 2, and I'm here once again, joined with Mr. Marvel himself, Albert. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Thank you for having me.
So man, we praised the last episode, the first episode, and I said in my review, it was a lot of recap, it was a lot of explaining of the world, the rules. You get a little bit of that in this episode, but Albert, man, whoo, this was a banger, baby. This was
This
a
is
this was a
crazy.
this was a banger. There is a lot to get
Yep.
into. There's a lot of Easter eggs. There's a lot of maybe predictions.
hmm
What did you see in this episode that made you hype? And we're gonna go all over the place with this episode. We can go from the end, middle, the beginning. But
Yep.
what made you hyped about this episode?
The ending, the bomb, the drop of the bomb or bombs, the
The
bombing of the sacred timeline. I've
Yes,
been going, dude, I don't know what this means, but that's all I've been thinking about. That's what makes me hype. And then seeing all the places that got bombed.
I think that a lot of people are not really mentioning that a lot.
Uh-huh.
I seen a couple people mention it, but the places, and when he said it on my live stream, I was like, no, because I didn't pick that up, and then I
Mhm.
went back and I was like, oh no, it is showcasing where, what timelines these things are being dropped at. You have,
Yep.
I believe, one in New York. You have ego. Ego
There you
trips me
go.
out.
Yeah.
They're just dropping bombs on Kurt Russell because
Yep.
Ego is a planet, and Ego is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That's Chris Pratt, Star Lord's dad. He's a freaking planet, man. There you also have you have the what was what didn't it drop bomb
There
on?
was Xandar, Vormir,
Yes, Vormir. That's what I was
what's it
trying to
called?
think of.
So I heard that people were saying they saw nowhere was one of the places also.
And we were talking
Um,
about the celestial beings and what importance they are in this. Like, how where's the ranking on that? So if they're like getting affected by this too, obviously they're not as top dog as the TVA. The TVA still kind of controls that whole thing. Was there any other places you could think of? The one that tripped me out was Ego, that they dropped that time reset on that.
no, it was just pretty much everywhere that we've seen in the MCU. The crazy one though was Vormir because they also had the year, and with Vormir it was the year 2300. So it's like what 300 years in the future almost.
Yeah, and they
So
did play around with the future because we do go
mhm,
to
2050
2050. That's right. Of what's it called? Roxcart.
Alabama. Yeah.
Roxcart and The Rox Corporation has been hinted in the MCU for a while.
hmm
They're another company in the comics. There's a lot of comics hints, a lot of storylines that could happen in this series. What's tripping me? Of course, I said that Kevin Feige, what he does best is he takes these storylines, right, from the comments and or comics, and he makes it fit in his MCU universe. So when we saw the what of the variant Loki at the end, we knew that it was probably Lady Loki. It is Lady Loki, but you're saying that it might be Enchantress.
Yeah, there was someone had said that in the credits when because it lists credits for the voice actors in different languages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot which language in particular, but under one of those foreign languages, it said Sylvie instead of variant Loki, because in all the other languages it would say variant Loki
Mm-hmm.
or the variant. In that one language, it said Sylvie, so people are now thinking like, "Oh, this isn't like variant Loki, it's Sylvie."
It's
I
enchant.
think that it is a variant of Loki because that's what they've been after, and I feel like the TVA would know if it wasn't. But
Mm-hmm.
also, I'm not too sure because the blonde hair, it does match up with it being Sylvie, which I don't know too much about her. I just found out about her last night.
Well,
Um,
Loki bestows kind of like powers upon her, I
yeah, that's
believe.
what I read.
I
That
think he
he
does that for Kid
gives her the
Loki.
powers. Uh huh.
Yeah, so it's very similar for the Kid Loki. So there could be that twist where it is technically another variant of Loki, but it's not Loki. It's kind of like a Spider Gwen thing, right? Where
Yep.
Spider Gwen, instead of Peter Parker being in that universe of Spider Man, it's Gwen Stacy. So it
Hmm.
could be kind of like that, where it's technically it's Loki's powers being or his, whatever being passed on to Sylvie, aka Enchantress. I think it's Lady Loki. I think there'll be a crazier, more twists along the way. But I think it's Lady Loki. But if it does go that route, I think it'd be something like that, something crazy like that, and kind of like in the comics, you know?
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say it's Lady Loki for now too, because that's what the show wants us to like think. That's what they've
Yeah.
implied. So for right now, I'll just say Lady Loki. But by the way, what an awesome reveal at the end, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
I had told you that I think this episode we're gonna get her reveal. They're gonna show it to us, and we
I'm glad
did.
they
But
did.
I was not expecting the sacred timeline to be bombed,
No, no,
dude.
exactly.
How
Holy
I think you
shit!
said this last night in your review. Um, this could have been the setup for the finale with, but it's the episode 2,
It's
so
episode
that's
two.
crazy. There's still
Yeah.
4 episodes left. It's like, bro, what the heck is gonna happen?
Well, I think obviously we're gonna see why Lady Loki, of course, is doing all this. You're gonna have that heart to heart with Loki and Lady Loki.
Hmm.
Um, I think, man, dude, that was such a big surprise for me. I mean, I was enjoying the hell out of the episode already, and then and I knew when Lady Loki was gonna, because I was like, they can't really stretch this out too long with the
Hmm.
coat figure, mystery of all this. I think we, the audience, and a lot of people who read the comics know it's Lady Loki. So I'm glad they revealed that, and I'm glad, but I love the extra mile they took by now we're getting into like the meat and potatoes, like what the fuck is gonna happen, right? You have Loki going into that time door, and you have him like now following Lady Loki. That time door shuts, and then you got the TVA having to scramble with all these different branches that have just been let loose, all these time resets just let loose
Hmm.
everywhere. The sacred time. Now remember, guys, when we see the branches and we see those two guys kind of like working at their station and we see everything going off, they haven't reached the red line yet. The red line means a missed minute says it in the beginning of this episode that once it hits that red line, that you can't stop it. Like
Hmm.
it's a multiverse. It's another, like it's something you just you can't do
The
anything to
the
it. Yeah.
TVA, they can't reset it once it passes the red line.
No,
Hmm.
that's why also with Loki giving that question about how why don't we just do it come to when the time they attack the and then Mobius says we can't do that. We have to be here at the present time to reset everything. That's just like how the rules kind of work and play. Glad that Miss. So I'm gonna go to the beginning real quick. I'm glad Miss Minutes is back. I thought she was gonna be a one thing kind of deal. I
Same.
found that hilarious that she is alive or a pre-record. I saw a video talking about how like Doctor Strange does this did this because it's time wise they've already had this conversation, so I thought that was interesting. Doctor Strange, Doctor Who, I mean. But I'm glad Miss Minutes is back. I thought that was pretty funny. What'd you think about that? The one, the one thing I didn't really like, Albert, was the beginning of "We need a hero" or "I need a hero," and then the choreography. I don't
I
know how you
love
felt
that
about that.
part.
I didn't like it. I
I
didn't.
love
I thought the
I
choreography
for
wasn't that
me it was just
great.
because I think what that song's from the 80s, right? And
Hmm.
it played when they went back to the 80s.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I liked it though. It was
Um,
pretty cool.
the cool thing is, I think a lot of people are. I wasn't the only one. I thought in the beginning of this episode, it's not this. It's not Catherine Hahn. It's a
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
actress. I was
Uh-huh.
like, is that Agatha?
My
you
brother
know,
said the same thing. My brother said the same thing we were watching the first time. He's like, Agatha? But
looks
like when I
like
saw it, I was
just
just
like
like
her.
the hair. It was like the wavy hair, I think.
the The hair and the
But
build too, and then the
oh
fact
yeah.
that she wasn't shook by these
Hmm.
guys with like and coming out of this door.
Yeah.
It might be Agatha because we did see in WandaVision Agatha's facial. She's able to change and manipulate a little bit of her face because her face does change when she does goes full Agatha, the darkness or Harkness or whatever you want to call her. So that's what I thought too. I thought I was like, damn, that's like a nice little kind of like Agatha
Yeah,
in the
and it was
beginning.
during the 1980s, so that for
Yeah,
her, that'd probably only be like 5 years ago, age-wise. I don't know. Um,
Renaissance fair too.
hmm
So
But
that
I don't
kind of
think it's
fits the
her.
bill.
I think it's just some random character. I don't think it's her.
It would have been cool though.
Um,
If it was Catherine Hahn, that would have been dope. Oh man, that
yeah.
would have been crazy. You know, um,
Uh,
people got to realize too that Loki, even though he's adopted, he got taken in by Odin's wife, his mother. What was the mother's name again? I can't remember.
the mother was Frigga. Frigga,
Yeah,
right?
it's yeah, like so it's like hard kind of to say it. Not remember, guys. She was a witch. She was a
hmm
witch.
She
She
was
has
raised by witches. Yep, she was a
she has
witch.
those powers. Yes. Power speaking wise, how what did you think about how the different power sets that these kind of variant Lokis could have? Because I said that Loki doesn't have that power to kind of go into somebody's body and take over like Lady Loki has.
He doesn't. It kind of reminded me because when we would what's called Loki in 2012, he kind of had a similar thing, but he would only be able to do that with the Mind Stone.
With the
So
Tesseract, yeah, with his
with the
staff,
scepter,
yeah.
yeah. So I was like,
Very true, very true.
this the power that Lady Loki was using, it kind of reminded me of that, but it was different because it was like she was possessing those people pretty much, right? That's what it
Hmm.
was more like. It wasn't like those people were mind controlled. She put her mind in those people. They were, and I wonder if it's kind of like what's it called? Was it No Way Out, where they're like in the sunken place? I wonder if it's like that, where they're still conscious, but they don't have control of their body. It's Lady Loki that does, because that'd be pretty creepy. But yeah, I
Yeah,
like how there's different powers for the Lokis.
yeah, that's cool. I really like that. Now, we do see a lot of different variants of Loki when they kind of
Mhm.
when Mobius goes through some of them. You see like a like a monster looking
Yeah, that one's crazy.
Loki. You
Freaking
see a
Abomination Loki.
yeah, exactly. Abomination. And then you also have like Lance Armstrong Loki. You
hmm
have Vikings King Loki. So there's
hmm
different variants of Loki. I don't know necessarily if we're gonna see those variants, but I would
I don't
love to
think so.
see. Do you, is Lady Loki and will Loki be on her side basically later on in on these episodes? Do you think they're gonna be creating a kind of an army of Lokis? Do you think this is going to happen like moving forward? Because we still have 4 episodes left.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Like I was telling my brother last night, we can predict what's going to happen next week, but there's no way we can predict what's going to happen in 2 or 3 weeks from now with how quickly the show's going, with how crazy it is.
There's so
Like
much content and so
there
much like things
is.
going on.
I
Like
have no idea how it's going to end. All I can theorize is what I think is going to happen next week, and I feel like the two Lokis are gonna work together, but in true Loki fashion, they're gonna both
betray
betray
each
each other.
other.
It's just it's inevitable, right? Loki has to betray, so I feel like they're both gonna try to betray each other. They're both gonna try to work together, but I think what they each want is different. Um,
Hmm.
Lady Loki, we don't know her true intentions yet. I think we'll figure it out next week. I think she'll tell us.
Do
We're gonna
you
get
think?
that
Do
sit
you
down.
think it has to do with the TVA though?
I think so. I feel like
The timekeepers, I should say.
because look, so you know that theory of the red line once the branch reaches the red line, it connects to another multiverse. You know how I was
Hmm.
telling you about that?
Yeah.
I feel like she's trying to do that because she's trying to go back to her timeline, maybe. But the doorway is closed, and the only way she can get there is when like the doorway opens by that branch reaching the red line. I feel like
Yeah.
it's something like that. Or maybe the TVA reset her universe, so she can't go back because it doesn't exist anymore. I think it does have to do with the TVA. Um, Whereas, what's his name? Regular variant Loki, Professor Loki is what Mobius called him. He just wants to. I mean, he said it. He wants to overthrow the TVA, right? He wants to
And
meet the
take over.
timekeepers and take over. Yep, he wants to take their spot. So I don't think he'll still want that by the end of the series, but also I don't think that he'll want what Lady Loki wants. So
I really feel like this Loki. is really digging like a lot of the things because he takes pride of like finding out where the hell like Lady Loki is, working with Mobius. Was a little bit concerned with B-15 when she went down,
Mm.
even though she's been giving him shit. Like I really do think this Loki, after hearing like everything has like set in motion, everything has a plan. This is what you're set to do. Maybe there is some truth to him wanting to kind of like take over the TVA or some similar position, something. He's really good at it. I really love the buddy cop dynamic between him and Mobius. This
Hmm.
show is kicking so much ass because of the chemistry these two really have. And I'll be honest with you, Albert. I think this is the best chemistry than the other two shows. I think they have the
Oh
better
yeah.
chemistry than Bucky and Sam, Wanda and Vision. I watch the show because I just want to see even the banter of these two.
Hmm. No, it's good. Like the little scene where Loki's explaining the where the other Loki might be hiding by
Hmm.
using Mobius's like salad. That one was pretty funny, you know.
Hmm.
Where because like they have a way of making it funny but like serious at the same time.
Yeah,
The comedy's good for me. The drama's good for me. The action, it's all been good. I'm really digging this show. But yeah, the chemistry between the two, everyone's saying that. Um, what's their actors' names? Tom Hiddleston
yeah.
and Owen
Owen
Wilson, that
Wilson.
they
Yeah,
bounce off each other very well.
and it's
And I
crazy. I would
agree.
have
Hmm.
never thought these two would like. I didn't even picture them in the same series or movie.
No, no,
That just tells you how good Marvel is over there at casting their
yeah,
actors.
exactly.
Except
Dude,
to
when I
let
think
Terrence
of Owen
Howard go.
Wilson, I just think about cars. I just think about Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, wedding
So,
crashers. You know, this is has.
uh-huh.
I said it in my review. I think this is the best acting I've seen Owen Wilson done because he's
Oh yeah.
balancing the comedic. He's not over the top with the comedic parts he's usually normally is. He
Hmm.
plays it so subtle, so real. He feels like I was thinking about this last night, Albert. After watching the episode, I'm like, I'm not supposed to like Mobius. His name is Mobius. I'm not supposed. He doesn't have cool shit on. He's just he's just kind of like a detective kind of guy. I'm
Yep.
not supposed to like him as much as I do. But
Hmm.
it's the kudos to Owen Wilson, and it's the fact that he plays so well with Loki because he is also he knows Loki when he lies and when he doesn't.
Yeah.
He knows when he's gonna backstab. He knows Loki's mo. He knows him.
Yep. Like
So
he
that.
said, he studied Loki's entire like life, so
Hmm.
he knows him. And he did catch him when they were inside the little when they were at Wisconsin, and Loki's like saying, "Oh, we can't go out there because then Loki's gonna attack us," and
Hmm.
he's like, "Oh, no, he's lying. Like, let's
Yeah,
go."
that
So
was
yeah,
great.
he knows.
That was a great scene. Great
Hmm.
scene.
That
Um,
was.
let's get into the TVA. So okay, there's a lot of this is kind of like WandaVision, right? Where we're kind of theorizing. It's
Mhm.
Mephisto. It's not Mephisto. I didn't notice though when the kid pointed to the painting or whatever of the devil,
Yeah.
uh, the tongue was blue on that painting,
All right. So
like the
then,
like the candy. So
uh-huh.
I didn't notice that. So a lot of people think that the timekeepers are either they don't exist and it's really Kang that's
Mhm.
controlling everything. Uh, they were killed and it's Kang that's controlling everything. It's all comes down to Kang. There's a lot of scenes with what's her name Savannah,
What was that?
the judge,
Oh yeah,
Ravana.
yeah, yeah.
Ravana. So and then we know in the comics Ravana and Kang are very close. I think that's his lover in the comics as well.
Yeah, they had a thing.
They have a thing, but it seems like Mobius and her have a thing too, which I like that play too because when they just have that little banter with each other, and of course when he sets his cup down and she's telling him to use a coaster, all those rings are from him.
Hmm.
And then there's this hint of another kind of like assistant or another person that she has going doing these cases, and
Yeah.
Mobius has never even met this person. Mobius has never met the timekeepers.
That was a red flag for me.
Yes, I think in my theory, and then going to later on in the episodes, one, there's no shadow of doubt it that she is probably working with Kang. Two, what if she is the timekeeper?
Hmm.
What if she herself is the one? The timekeepers are just, you know, it's kind of like it's like a distraction. You look over here, but I'm actually over here. I was in
Hmm.
front of you the whole time, kind of deal.
And that's true because with the other two shows that we've seen, the like Agatha, she was there from the beginning, right? And
Agatha
then
all along. Yeah, exactly.
exactly, and then
Exactly.
also the what was the name of the Falcon and Winter Soldier? The Agent
Carly.
Carter? No, no,
Oh,
the
Agent Carter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
She was the what's it called? I want to call
the
her
Power Broker.
whistleblower,
Power
power
Broker.
broker. That's so stupid. I don't want to
Yeah.
get into
So
that.
like she was there since episode two.
So, and
So if we're
Ravana been here since
yeah,
the get go.
if we're going by like how the other two shows were, then
Yeah,
it might be her. She might be. What if she's Kang?
I don't
No,
think
it's not.
they already casted
Yeah,
that
they
actor,
already got
but
yeah.
she I think she is working with Kang. But
Uh-huh.
I think if they're gonna do a little twist, I'm gonna throw some money in here, and I'm gonna bet that maybe she's the timekeeper. I don't think there's
Mhm.
three timekeepers. I think there's just one.
Yeah,
Um,
I was about to ask you that if you think there's three.
no,
And all the shots in like episode two that I've noticed, they really only focus on one timekeeper, and it's the guy that's always in the middle, the guy that looks
it's
like
like
the
Kang.
actor that got cast as Kang, right?
Hmm.
So I don't think that the timekeepers are like I don't think that's all BS. But I do think that there is at least one. What I think is BS is that they help keep the flow of time and from like going into madness or whatever. I
Hmm.
think that story that Miss Minutes gives, I think that is not entirely true.
It's
There's
kind
more
of
to it, you know.
it's kind of like big corporate companies like Coca-Cola and all these, like I say Coca-Cola, right? Or Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Disney presents a happiness, a come family friendly. Same with Coke. But then when you think about a lot of the effects that Disney has taken out a lot of smaller companies, Fox, a lot of imaginative jobs, Coke. Hell, it's so bad for you. I think recently the soccer star switched to Coke for water, and everybody was going ablaze by that. So I mean, it's like that, right? It's kind of like TVA is showcasing you one thing, but behind the scenes they're another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think the Ravana thing, why I think she either is one working with Kang, of course, and Kang might be controlling a lot of this stuff. He is very powerful, so and then but if Ravana is the timekeeper or is helping the timekeeper with their goals or whatever, there is a lot of there. It seems like Mobius, because she's the head honcho, she's the one that's letting Mobius technically use Loki. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there is nobody like she says that she's getting like she got the okay, but she seems like to be doing it right there on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
So even if she's not the timekeeper, she's definitely like the damn GM. She's definitely
Yeah.
the Kevin Feige of this whole TVA kind of thing. She's
Uh-huh.
making the decisions.
Yeah,
So
because we see when Mobius is asking like to go take Loki to the what's it called to Alabama, I believe was
mhm.
when he was asking for permission, or maybe it was to Pompeii. It was to one of those.
Not to
Like he's
Pompeii
asking.
because that
All
was a
right,
secret. That was they wanted to test out
all
that
right.
theory that Loki had, but it was
Uh-huh.
after definitely after the 1985 Renaissance Fair because
Hmm.
she points out you guys botched that mission.
Hmm.
But yes, it's I think you're talking about the rocks cart for sure.
All right, so yeah, so they go. He goes to her and he's asking for permission to do that mission, right?
Hmm.
And she had said earlier that like, oh, the timekeepers are the ones that like make these choices, but right there, she didn't run it by the timekeepers. She made that choice and she signs off on it, or like
Yeah.
he has him sign off on it. So yeah, she has power there. Um,
Definitely power. She is recording a conversation in the background. You could Mobius. You can see like a record tape
Hmm.
going. So I think she's recording the conversation. What I think what I took out of this episode too was when the times or everything's splitting out. Right,
Hmm.
her ass gets up and gets one of those
Oh
time
yeah,
little
yeah.
staffs.
Yep.
So I was like, oh shit,
She's
like
gonna
what's
go get her
going?
hands dirty.
Yeah. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so this is what I'm leading to. All right, I've seen a little bit of theories like this as well. This is what I'm leading to. So maybe Lady Loki's plan is to get, because a lot of people are leaving that TVA, and there's a lot of time resets that need to happen. A
Hmm.
lot. So they need all hands on deck, right? Everybody has to leave the times, the time city, whatever. What if that was Lady Loki's plan?
To
To
get everyone out.
infiltrate, to
Hmm.
infiltrate with ease, to get everybody out. She knew where to drop all these because of capturing C-20, I believe her name is.
Yeah.
The thing that kind of trips me out though, Albert, I don't know if you have any ideas on this, is C-20. I was wondering what she was saying. She kept on going, "It's real, it's real, it's real,
Hmm.
it's." What the fuck does that mean? I don't know what that they're doing there. No
Maybe
clue.
like the multiverse. Maybe the multiverse is real. I'm not sure.
Well, the
Um,
multiverse is real because these time cops have to jump into all these multiverses.
are they, or are they jumping just into the sacred timeline, but
Mm,
like the branches? Because from what I feel like is it's not a multiverse until it crosses the
it
red line.
crosses the red line. Yeah.
So, which, by the way, real quick, do you think they're gonna reset all those branches, or do you think some of them will cross the red line?
They can, dude. They can't, right? They
I don't
can't.
think they. I don't think they're. I don't think they're gonna reset all of them.
I
There's too
mean,
many.
it's that, and then also like this is to me, this is the all be everything to set
Uh-huh.
up everything that's gonna lead
Yep.
to Doctor Strange 2, to Spider-Man No
Hmm.
Way Home. I think I'm nailing it on the head when I say that they're not releasing the trailer to No Way Home yet
Oh yeah.
until these episodes drop. Until like
Uh-huh.
maybe like they'll probably release it maybe before the finale because we get the
Hmm.
sense of okay, this is what's going we're going down. But that's what I'm thinking.
And
Uh,
it's crazy because Sony, they usually they play by their own. They have their own agenda, so it's
that's
cool to
right.
see that they're holding off
So
because.
it's not Disney, it's
Hmm.
Sony, exact,
Yep.
because this is technically when they made the deal. It's a new deal, but I think it's the same principle too. That Sony still has that right probably for the trailers and the market, maybe a
Hmm.
little bit of the marketing. I'm not quite sure, but I mean Sony is a big player in that's what's tripping me out is Sony and Disney. I think they're going all in on this. There's a lot of money to be made on this.
Yep.
A lot of money.
Yeah, dude.
The I got a couple notes here. The Infinity Elevator that they go down, which is a cool little shot of the when Mobius and Loki are going headed to 372, the floor 372. That's an actual real. That's a Marriott Marquis in Atlanta. That's real.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that on
That's
Twitter.
that's really cool. I
Uh,
really love the look of that. That was really really cool. I'm glad that they're using like real shit.
real stuff that looks like otherworldly. Pretty cool.
Loki goes to floor 372, same number and issue. TVA gets introduced in the comic.
Nice, nice.
Lady Loki. So when we get that reveal on Lady Loki, notice that she has one horn that is broken.
Yep. I wonder why. I don't know.
I don't know. We're gonna
I,
definitely learn a lot of. I think that especially with that scene with those two together, that everybody thought it was Black Widow.
did you like how she looked?
Well, that's what I'm
Like
saying.
her
Like
costume?
her costume, I was fine with it. Honestly, I was
All
fine
right.
with it. I just, it throws me back because she has blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that just throws me so much. And of course, she doesn't really look like a lady Loki to me, like an
Mm-hmm.
actual Loki. But I think I liked it. I thought it was fine. I thought it's cool that she does have just one horn. The horn wasn't
Yeah.
that big. I was expecting the horn to be a little bit bigger, but
Yeah.
I guess they have it short, so they don't do the straight reveal on here.
I liked
But
it though. I liked her design.
Her design was good for for being like an assassin too.
Mm.
It was good. G Styles, good afternoon, Dan the Man. Thank you, G. Creepin' East Devish. I think I said that right. You think she's Enchantress? We covered this a little bit. I think she's Lady Loki. She might be a little bit of carnation of Enchantress, where maybe Kevin Feige does have, because I think Enchantress gets the powers from Loki. So it could be a spin on it, basically. Gold in her eye. Was there gold in her eye?
No,
It
he
was so.
corrected himself. He said green.
Oh, green. Oh, green. I meant. Oh, there it is. Yeah, green. I meant. Yeah, green. Of course, before she gets revealed, she has the green aura around her, the magic around her hands.
Kind of
Um.
look like WandaVision magic,
hmm
right? How they have it around their hands, kind
Oh,
of look
of
like
course.
that.
I do dig a lot of the magic. I don't like magic. I don't like Harry Potter. If you guys don't know that, I'm sorry. I don't like Harry Potter. But when sometimes like sorcery and magic, it's really cool. That's why I think I like Game of Thrones when they used it sparingly. So I
Mhm.
think going with the Marvel universe, it's really cool to see these different kind of magic. Doctor Strange, Agatha, Wanda, and you want to see them like go at each other, right? Because you want to see who the most powerful is. Wanda, I still
Wanda.
think is the most powerful.
Yep, Agatha said it. Her powers exceed that of the Sorcerer Supreme. So,
Said it right from UK London. Hi, dudes from London.
yep. Um,
Welcome.
you know what's interesting though that I was thinking about? I think last week you had mentioned, or I don't know, I think you had talked about this about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, that was
So
last night.
yeah, so like a good example from why this could be, it could be Sylvie, right? Enchantress can be the Loki from that universe because like in Into the Spider-Verse, they're not all Peter Parker. You have Penny Parker, right?
Oh,
That's
exactly.
completely different, but she's basically that version, that world's Peter Parker, even though it's
Spider
a
Ham.
Spider
Spider
Ham.
Ham's the
Oh,
biggest one. Yeah, it's a
that's the biggest
fucking
one. Yep.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So and then like I said last night is that the Peter Parker who died in Miles Morales' world was blonde, blue eyes, and then the Peter B. Parker from the I think it's 616 might be in a different universe, but that's the that one had brown hair with
Yeah.
brown eyes, you know.
Mhm. So,
So yes, there could be
okay.
that's why I wasn't tripping out too much on Lady Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Is because like it's kind of like into the Spider Verse kind of thing going on, where
Mm-hmm.
different blonde hair, but with green eyes, which I think Loki does have, I believe. I'm not quite sure.
Saw my brother ask right now.
When they went to 2050, my brother thought the black guy was Miles.
No, look,
No,
let me
not
explain
everybody's
myself.
Miles.
Let me explain myself. When it said 2050, I was going crazy, right? I was like, man, like they can go up to a random person, right?
2099.
Oh no, not that far. But they can go to a person. They can ask like, "Oh, like, what happened to the Avengers?" And they can be like, "Oh, the Avengers, they all died years ago. That we haven't heard that name in forever, right?" And I was
Yeah,
telling him like, "Dude, some random superhero might just pop up right now that we haven't been introduced
there's
to."
supposed to be a lot of cameos in this series.
Hmm.
That's gonna blow
I
your
think there
mind.
will be in these next few episodes
We might
too.
get Steve.
We
We
might,
might
we
get
might get
Steve.
Kurt Russell.
Dude, I
Could be
know, right?
crazy.
Like Kurt Russell, like the
Dude, we
probably,
might get Thanos
probably.
because Thanos is Titan. His whole planet Titan
Oh,
was bombed
yeah.
too,
So it
and it
was
was
Bond
during the
too,
90s.
but I think
So,
that was already done. That was already. He even said it himself. It was destroyed because of like
oh
his.
yeah, yeah. No, his this planet had been destroyed for a while,
Yeah,
but but so but I don't know. You think he would go back? No, he probably wouldn't be there. I don't know, but nowhere was bombed. Sakara was bombed. Like, there's so many. They have the Minutemen, right? Is what they're called, the TVA people.
mm-hmm.
They have to go to those places to fix them, right?
Yeah,
Um, so are we gonna see
cameos.
that? Are we gonna see them go to those places? I hope so. That'd be crazy.
Dude, I could just imagine going to Ego, because
Hmm.
Ego, like we've only seen him in human form, really.
We saw the planet very briefly.
Yeah. So at
Hmm.
that point, when that time reset goes, is he a planet right now, or is he like in that body? because he's
Oh, he's
banging
probably in that body. No, wait, I don't know.
everywhere. I don't know. It's pretty. Maybe we'll get like hints of like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 kind of going on there.
We might see the original Guardians.
That would be really cool. We might see. You know what, Michael Rooker. We might see. What's his name?
What,
Uh,
Merle?
Merle. Yeah. What's his name in Guardians? Oh my God, it is gonna
Oh,
kill me.
Yondu.
Yondu. Yeah, we might see
Yeah.
Yondu in there. You know. There's gonna be a lot. I heard a lot of cameos and a lot of the ones that are gonna
Mhm.
blow your mind. I'm interested in seeing what the effects is gonna happen at the end of the series. What Doctor Strange cameo? You
You think
know,
we'll
as
get
much
in
as
this series?
I don't know. I
We
mean,
might.
we might because if any of the Avengers of any of these characters I could see knowing about any of this crap, it's Doctor Strange,
Yep, I was about
or
to
it was
say.
the ancient
Or
one
the
knew about
ancient
it.
one. Yep.
I don't necessarily think Shang-Chi, any of those characters, because I don't really know what they're going to be presented as in when we get the movie. The Eternals,
Yeah,
I still have no
maybe.
clue what the hell's going on with the Eternals. But if
Uh-huh.
anybody I had to guess, I would think Doctor Strange, just because he went to go see all the outcomes of how to beat Thanos, which is insane because
Hmm.
Thanos is not that big of a villain anymore.
Now,
In
compared to the
a
TVA,
compared to Kang now. Let's see how Kang goes because Kang knows about all this stuff. Knowing is power, and if he knows about the TVA and he knows about multiverse, that's power. Thanos did not know about that. He knew about the Infinity Stones. I'm gonna get to this real quick though. All right, it's stupid. I thought about it. I was like, you know what? The Infinity Stones are used as paperweights, so they're useless. But you could still use them for battles, right? You could still
yeah.
like the Minutemen could still use these things.
Well,
So
look, that's
they
what I was talking on your stream last night. I was talking to, I forgot his name. There's some person there,
oh yeah,
and I
he
was,
they're usually there sometimes too. Yeah.
yeah, he was saying that they're like useless, right? And I was like, I mean, they could take those. They're only useless in the TVA, right? They can take it to the timeline, and then they'll have power again. But you're saying that once you take them out of their timeline, like they only have power in that timeline. But I don't think so. I
Oh.
think they have power outside of the TVA. I'm not sure.
It's very
Um,
hard. It's a very hard thing. Either way, they need
in
better weaponry.
Endgame, in Endgame, they took the stones from a different timeline and they brought them into the Endgame timeline,
And
and they
they still
work.
were able to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they work
exactly.
in different timelines. That's what I was thinking. Like they still have power, just not in the
Oh,
TVA.
but they did say though, they mentioned in the first episode that I guess you could say Infinity Stones is magic.
Uh huh.
And magic, you can't use magic in
The TVA.
the TVA, but they're jumping to different timelines. So you
Mhm.
could technically use the Infinity Stones in that timeline because they're not in the TVA.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm guessing.
That's why I'm like. That's why I said in my review, like, don't think so hard about it, because
Hmm.
you're gonna always find holes when it comes to time traveling, something like this. But either way, I think them using these short staff, they need longer range weapons. I
Hmm.
don't know why they expect to always hit a gopher, right, or whatever. Hit these guys and get close to them. There's some people that you can't get close to. Obviously, if Lady Loki's laying traps and shit. So I was tripping out how they need better weaponry.
They need to buff their weaponry. Um.
I'm just waiting for X-Men. Massive fan since animated series 90s. Oh, of course, the 90s anime series is amazing. Everybody's waiting for X-Men. I think we're getting Fantastic Four first, though.
I think so. And you think they'll be? You think Fantastic Four will be like they were there all along? Just they just something there we haven't seen their origin yet, or do you
Mm,
think they'll have something to do with the multiverse?
my gut feeling is saying they've been there all along.
All right.
Um, but I guess it would make sense if they came through the multiverse or things changed, right? What if they get everything back together? And you know how like it's kind of like I guess the best example is Dragon Ball Z when Trunks comes in and gives Goku like medicine because he's gonna die in the future, but then he messes up that timeline. Instead of two androids they have to fight, now they have to fight four. So it's kind of like that. So where you think everything's good, but there's mutants now. There's There's Reed Richards now. You know, they technically were there all along, but they weren't because you messed up
Yeah.
the timeline. It's very tricky. But I would think they were there all along. That's just a gut feeling. But I could see them doing something different.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be from the multiverse, but the X-Men probably, right?
I think the
The
X Men is probably the
mutants.
biggest one. Yeah,
Hmm.
especially if they want to bring in Deadpool.
Hmm. For
That'd be
real.
hilarious. That'd be
And
hilarious.
also, if they want to connect the Sony universe to this one.
Yeah, yeah, Toby. And
Hmm.
if it's a massive success, that they're gonna probably want to do more, at least one more Toby Maguire, Sam Raimi movie. At
I don't
least
know.
their movie.
I feel like if what's his name, Tobey Maguire is in this next Spider-Man movie, I feel like he might die.
Oh, you mean Spider Man?
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, if he's in the next
Iron Man's
Spider-Man
dead,
movie.
man. I know you miss him, Albert. He's gone. Just
Yep.
kidding.
And did I say Iron Man?
You said Iron Man, bro.
I realized that. I was like, what did I
Oh,
say?
you see when Loki mentions apocalypse like a double meaning?
Mm. Oh
Mm,
shoot.
apocalypse, huh?
Nah, they botched X-Men Apocalypse. I don't even want to think about that.
I don't think they're gonna. There's no way they're gonna touch apocalypse at all right now.
Man.
No, not Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige wants to redo his thing. I'm hearing he wants to kind of go back into Origin X Men, where it's kind of like with Jean Grey, Iceman, and I think Beast is on there and on that team, the original. Cyclops, of course, is the leader. Apparently, Star Fox cameos at end of Eternals.
Oh shoot. Harry
Star Fox,
Styles.
the game.
No, 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 not the game. The character. There's a character. Star Fox is Thanos' brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
that's what
that's
they're
what
talking
I
about.
thought they were talking about the game.
No,
Oh,
no,
I see.
no. Star Fox.
I knew
Thanos' brother. That's
I
his
knew
name.
Thanos had a brother for sure.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I want to get into Thanos' family because Tina from the Eternals, she's Thanos'
His
cousin,
cousin,
first
yeah,
cousin.
that's Angelina
So
Jolie, I believe, right?
yeah, Angelina Jolie, she's cousins with Thanos. So I want to
I'm
get into that family.
I'm a big Kit Harington fan. I'm wondering how much screen time he gets. I think he's supposed to be like a
Mm,
knight.
yeah. From
I
what
hope
I heard, Gemma Chan, what was
is
her
the
character's name?
is the lead.
Cersei? Was her name Cersei? Cersei? From what I heard, is she's gonna be like in some love triangle with Richard Madison, right? The
Yeah,
Rob Stark,
Rob
and
Stark.
also Jon Snow. So that's gonna be funny. That'll be
So
interesting.
so weird, so weird.
She's
I
really
don't
pretty though. I
I
can
don't
see why
know.
they fight over her.
I don't know about the Eternals, man. I don't know about the
That's the
Eternals.
one I'm most excited for this year.
It's it's
Um,
it's interesting. So let's get back into this episode. So I wanted to mention it last episode, but I got to mention it this episode. So Josta is in I believe a drink that's been discontinued, and they have another drink in here called Boku juice that he pours on the salad, discontinued as well. It's pretty funny that they're using a lot of the discontinued products. They haven't at they're able to grab all this stuff. I believe that because that bubblegum, I say that because that bubblegum I think was, or that candy was discontinued too, and there was only one place to get it, or it was so rare it's only one place to get it. So I think they're using that pretty well. The
yeah.
production team referenced the St. Helens explosion for Pompeii's eruption.
Hmm.
So of course we don't know what Pompeii looked like when it erupted. We can only assume, and this is probably how it went. But they used St. Helens as a reference, so that explosion was kind of a St. Helens kind of explosion. I thought that was pretty cool.
I like that they went there to
Yeah,
Pompeii.
I was
That
tripping out on that. I was like, I was freaking
was.
Pompeii.
I was getting excited because I was like, "Oh my God, are they gonna go to Thor Ragnarok? Are we about to like go to Asgard?"
A lot of references of Thor Ragnarok. The best
Mm-hmm.
scene too in
The
my eyes.
Revengers.
Yes,
Yeah.
there was the Revengers. I think the Revengers consist of Loki,
Valkyrie,
Loki, Valkyrie.
Thor, and Hulk.
Was it Hulk too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that scene though, because he doesn't know that well, he kind of just sees it now that his home is completely destroyed.
Oh
Now
yeah,
here
that scene was crazy.
now here's the wrench in the thing. All right. So Loki says that here's the thing that the big thing that we get. You can do whatever you want if it's an apocalyptic scenario, because
Yep.
everybody's gonna die. An asteroid can come and hit. Everybody's gonna die. You could freaking rob a bank.
Hmm.
You could assassinate somebody. You could kill Hulk.
You could push Hulk off the Rainbow Bridge.
Hulk off the Rainbow Bridge, and it
Hmm.
will not affect. TVA won't go after your ass because that's
Mm-mm.
exactly. It doesn't matter. Everything's going to
Doesn't
be
matter.
wiped out anyway.
Yep.
Here's the wrench, though. Can you really throw Hulk off the bridge? Because if you throw Hulk off the bridge, so it kind of changes a lot of things. You know, it's
Uh-huh.
where you got to remember when Ragnarok happens, it's not because Ragnarok was there the whole time. It's because Thor set that plan in motion.
Mhm.
So if you disrupt that plan doesn't happen. So I think there's some things that yes, in like the major scheme of things, that's very true because they tested it out in Pompeii. But then some other things, no. So let's say Loki went back and he killed Steve without anybody's knowledge from returning the Infinity Stones.
Hmm.
That's not part of it. That's not part of the plan. So it's a very scale kind of thing. Like there's some things you could do and some things you can't do.
Yeah, it's definitely some things are off the table. It's not like, oh, I can go here and do whatever. How he says like there's no consequences. Like in
Mm-hmm.
Pompeii, sure, right there he could probably do whatever, right? That
Yeah.
thing's gonna get incinerated or that thing was gonna get destroyed. But with like Asgard, especially because a lot of half the people escape. Um, if he killed someone that originally escaped, then that would mess up the timeline. So it it is a bit of a gray area. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it'd have to be a place where everything gets destroyed.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna have to be jumping through these places, right? Him and
Hmm.
Lady Loki, because that's how she's
Hmm.
been low key.
Yep. And you know
Yeah.
what's interesting? Remember when in that trailer we see like Loki is talking to what people thought was might have been Black Widow
Yeah. I
because it
said
looked
that.
like they
Yeah.
were in Vormir. It might be
Yeah.
Vormir that they're talking in because that's one of the places that got bombed.
I think it
But
is.
but
I
it,
think absolutely it is.
yeah. So yeah, and I need to look at the trailer again. But I know in the trailer there's all kinds of places. I think they showed like New York, but it looked all blown to shit.
It it
So
it looks like, yeah, New York, and it looks like he has like a couple people he's taken from timelines.
hmm.
Yeah, like the Huns or something like that.
Hmm.
Or he's in that timeline and he's getting captured. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. So I want to see the trailer again. It's crazy though. I I don't know what we're gonna see next week. I don't know if it's gonna be a lot, if it's gonna be more than I'm expecting, or what.
So
Because
far so far it's
yeah,
been like, I think because it's so out there, it's so weird, yet
hmm,
it makes sense.
hmm,
It's showcasing you a new phase. It's basically showcasing you the new phase that we're going to get into.
yeah,
So because of that, there's so much information that these episodes feel like, holy shit, man, we're getting. I don't know. No, I think it's definitely, for the first two episodes, definitely a rewatchable show. But for what it is, like every week, like it's blowing my mind because we're getting more new information. You know,
uh-huh. So much
it's
information.
so much information. It's pretty much like Sony announcing they're making a PS6, and then every like little every month they give you more information about it.
Uh-huh.
Like, holy shit, this thing actually is virtual, or the new controller, now it has like more dual shock or whatever. And then the next month, oh yeah, the games for it, new Resident Evil exclusive, blah blah blah. That's kind of like this show where, holy shit, they just bombed the sacred time, or previous, like, holy shit, is Kang involved, or there is a multiverse. There's a multiverse. We're getting into it. So it's kind of like that. So I think every episode is like that, where we're getting fed more and more information, and then the finale is the finale. Well, that will lead into branch out to these crazy movies and TV shows we're going to get into.
Do you think the end of this will like tie in directly to one of the movies?
If anything, Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
If
I could see
anything,
it. I could see it.
I can't see it tying into Spider-Man just yet. I think Spider-Man. I can't see it tying into Spider-Man. I could see it.
In
Spider-Man,
my
its own thing.
because Spider-Man takes place before Doctor Strange, and from what I understood, isn't Spider-Man gonna be in the Doctor Strange movie also?
Oh, that's true.
Or
Oh,
Doctor
shit.
Strange is in Spider-Man? One of those. It's
Well,
either Tom Holland's in Doctor
Spider-Man's
Strange or
first. Spider-Man's
yeah,
first,
Spider-Man's first. But I
and then
forgot if
Doctor
it's
Strange.
gonna be Benedict is in Spider-Man movie or Tom Holland is in this Doctor Strange movie. But it's one of
Oh,
those. So I forgot which one's which. But
I think Doctor Strange, Daredevil is in Spider-Man movie. I think Doctor
yeah,
Strange maybe is in the
yeah,
Spider-Man.
yeah, it's that. I remember now. Yes, because I remember they were saying like, oh, Tony Stark was in Spider-Man 1, Fury Spider-Man 2, so Spider-Man 3 is gonna be Doctor Strange is gonna be in it.
Well,
So
we've always wanted. I've always wanted Daredevil and Spider-Man,
uh-huh.
and at the time Charlie Cox was at Netflix. They weren't really combining the two universes, and I was like, God, that's a freaking shame, because I want to see Tom Holland so young, and Charlie Cox could be like that fun mentor kind of dude, or just the chemistry I think would be off the wall. And then I was like, okay, what's the second best thing? Well, I want to see him with Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange is the new Tony Stark moving forward. Eventually, Spider Man, if Disney keeps the sharing with him, he'll be the leader of the Avengers, in my opinion. I've said that like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But now that we got Daredevil going in now, I'm like, oh yeah. But if we're getting Doctor, like, it's like two dreams in one, and I freaking love it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I take that back. Spider-Man probably connect, because they're all connected. What I'm thinking is that Spider-Man is kind of its own thing, because it has so much storyline going on into it,
From what we
that it
heard,
does
there's so much. Yep.
so much. So they
There's
they can't they can't bring another storyline with Doctor Strange. I think it's just going to be a nice little tie-in towards the end of that movie,
all right.
And then Doctor Strange focuses more on everything, on the actual multiverse.
Uh-huh.
Loki, it'll probably set up. It might reference a lot of things. At the end, like how the everything's branching off, multiverse, all that stuff. And maybe Loki has a job to do at the end of the series to try to bring all the timeline, help Doctor Strange, maybe just bring it all back together.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe,
Yep.
maybe.
I don't know. We'll see when they go to New York. Maybe we'll see Andrew or Toby.
That'd be. I mean, it's such a weird tone shift too, because they both had different tones.
It is
So
wishful thinking.
we're gonna be ending it with this one, because this one's a big one. I don't think a lot of people have been like thinking about this. As we talk about multiverse, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, there is mention that the timekeepers are basically busy writing the future.
Mm-hmm.
They're busy writing the future, and once they're done writing the future, the TVA cease to exist.
Mm-hmm. Once they fix all the variant problems, then there's nothing. There's no more chaos, right?
That's a big thing, because
Mm-hmm.
in this episode we saw Mobius loves jet skis.
That was
He's
funny.
he's there to do a. He has a purpose to do a job.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's there from the timekeepers to do one certain thing, and they don't really question it. They have dreams like everybody else, but they don't go on within those dreams. I think that's why Mobius likes Loki, because Loki is the type of cat that, like, if he sets his mind on something, if he says he wants to do something, he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then Mobius can't do that because he's gonna affect the timeline. I don't know how riding a jet ski is gonna really affect the timeline, but
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna affect the timeline.
You think we'll see him on a jet ski?
Hell yeah, baby.
I think so too.
If
It'll
not
probably
that,
be an
we're gonna
after
get,
credit scene.
yes, or a sad ass ending where he dies and he says, "I never got to ride that jet ski."
Oh yeah.
That'd be so sad.
Mhm.
So the timekeepers. Let's just Let's just play with the idea that they do exist, or
Hmm.
even you could say Kang. That's crazy to me, man. That's crazy that they're setting this. Like, how far along in the future are they writing this shit? You know,
Hmm. The
that
end of
is
time.
that's insane. That just makes you. It just makes you think like, damn, this thing's. Where's Marvel taking this?
Uh huh.
How big are we gonna get? How many? So we talk about Spider Man. And I said last night that the Brazil got a nice little teaser.
Oh,
I
I
think it's
saw it
Brazil.
too. I saw what you're talking about. It was
Yes,
Colombia.
Colombia. Then it has that little
Oh
glitch,
wait, no,
right?
I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, I saw it though. I saw what you're talking about, where it glitched the last like couple frames. I was
Into
like,
the
oh
Spider
damn.
Verse.
Uh huh.
It's in.
It looked
So
like it.
are they connected?
What the?
Are they going to
Where is
connect
what
into the
connected?
Spider Verse animated
Oh, all
into
right.
the live action?
I don't think so.
That'd be nuts. That'd be
I think that'd get
nuts.
too weird. Maybe though. Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, if we can get, I don't know. Maybe. I I guess the biggest question I have for you, Albert, before we end this, because we talk about Loki and what he might happen to him at the end of the series.
Uh huh.
Do you believe that he might be helping out Doctor Strange, Wanda? Do you think, even though they announced the casting of those movies, do you think he's going to play a big, huge part later on in correcting or maybe even destroying the multiverse at the end of this series?
I don't think we'll see the last of Loki in this series, but I feel like he'll be in Doctor Strange. Um, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think he's gonna be trying to help fix it,
You don't think his
but
mode? You think this series he's not going to help fix the TVA at all?
I don't think he's gonna try to help fix like the multiverse of madness. I don't know. I feel like he'll thrive in the madness, but I don't think he'll try to fix it.
I,
Um,
I think he might have an army, dude. I think he's crafting
right?
an army.
Yeah, I don't know. We might. I don't. I mean, they said he's not gonna be in Thor 4. Could be lying. Um, I don't know. We might get a Loki movie. Who knows?
That'd be, I mean, I'd be down for that. They could do
Yeah.
a Loki movie and actually put it on Disney Plus
Mm-hmm. No,
because
it'd
this
be in
already looks
theaters
like a
though.
movie.
Well, like they didn't announce the Captain America 4 movie until after Falcon and Winter Soldier ended.
Oh, that's true.
Um,
That's
so
very
maybe
true.
maybe there's a movie in the works that Loki will come out in that we haven't heard anything about. I don't know what it would be though. And maybe he'll be an Ant-Man. But
Maybe Quantumania. Yeah,
yep.
they haven't.
So I
I don't think
don't
they've started
think
filming that yet either.
I think they just started. I feel
They
like
just
this
started.
week they started. But yeah, I don't think he'll be in Doctor Strange, but I do think we'll see him again before Phase 4 is over.
All right. Well, more. I guess we're gonna get more revealed next episode, and that's where we're gonna. The third episode is usually a lot of. They usually give us a lot more, and we get a
Hmm.
lot more of kind of where seeing where it's going. You could even say like WandaVision. It wasn't yet necessarily the third episode, but for the length of episodes they had, it was like kind of like the fourth episode with Peach.
The fourth and fifth one.
Yeah, where you kind of knew where it was kind of going. You saw kind of like something's not right here. Obviously, something's not right in the series, but I
Hmm.
think what I'm really intrigued is to hear what Lady Loki has to say.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the bread. That's gonna be what's you're gonna find out more of, like even more of the TVA. They might be the evil corporation. There might be
Hmm.
variants of the TVA. We don't know. That'd be insane.
I saw a theory saying that you know how in that one scene where Mobius is saying, or when the girl he's talking to is saying that there's other agents that work for her,
Yeah.
that they're just other versions of Mobius and other variants or whatever. So yeah.
Maybe because look at the coaster scene, right? And he
Hmm.
was, it seemed like he didn't know that he was doing that.
Hmm. And
So
she said they were all
maybe,
you.
maybe we're gonna have to get into that next episode. I think that's gonna be a little bit more
Yep.
clearer next episode. So,
Yep.
I want to thank you guys for listening. I want to thank you guys for joining us. The comments, thank you guys, and also go ahead and check out the channel. I do have my Loki review up. I have other reviews as well. I'm going to be heading to Vegas next week, baby. Be doing the stadium tour of the Raider Stadium. If you want to check that out, I'll be having some pictures and stuff. I don't think I could record in there. Bummer. But and then I also have other videos on the way. We continue to talk Loki, maybe have a couple other videos out there about Loki as we get more further into the series. Of course, next week we're going to be breaking down and predicting. Is that right, Mr. Marvel?
Yep, Wednesday around the same time, 2 or
Around
3.
2 or 3 p.m.
Two
Pacific
work good.
time. Let's see how hot it gets over here. It's starting to heat up a little bit.
Yep.
So yeah, we want to thank you guys, and we hope you guys have a good weekend, and you guys stay safe. And I'm Dan Domenic, Daniel's son. I'm out of here.
Have a good